All right, check out our new sponsor, Greenwood Stocks. They want you to know how to be able to trade stocks and be your own boss and be free to travel the world by making passive income. We all need that passive income from stock market. What are you waiting for? Call or text 281-760-3170. If you didn't catch that, that's on your screen. Or check them out at social media, Greenwood Stocks, and catch them at Gmail, Greenwood Stock Trading at Gmail, and the YouTube channel is Greenwood Stocks. Appreciate them for giving me the opportunity. Check them out. We out. All right, Ray Allen says that Reggie Miller is the shooting GOAT and not Steph Curry. Let's talk about it. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Appreciate the love, support, everybody showing the channel. And, basically he said that, said what he said. He gave his reason why. And, obviously most people think Steph is the greatest shooter in the NBA. I can second that. I think Steph is the greatest shooter in the NBA, no doubt about it. History. But then again, it's different categories, catch and shoot, off the dribble, coming off screens, mid-range shooter. You got post, guys, but clutch shooter. I think Reggie Miller was the most clutch shooter that, him and Ray Allen, the most clutch shooter that I can think of. I don't think Steph Curry is in the same category as them as being clutch shooters, and that's just my opinion. People gonna say, what's that do? Reggie Miller can shoot the thing. And I think Reggie's one of my top 5 favorite players of all time. For me, it's Allen Iverson, Kevin Garnett, Kobe Bryant, then Reggie Miller, and in that order. And Reggie hit some big shots. Reggie was just in the era with Jordan. And that simple is what it was. Jordan owned it. Jordan owned that era. And then after the Jordan era, he fell into that Lakers Spurs era. And it's just tough. It was tough to get out to each other. Knicks, Heat, Michael. And then eventually they did make it. But then you had Iverson. Milwaukee was pretty good. Ray Allen and Sam Cassell and those guys. And he basically said that, Reggie's the foundation of great shooting. And he patterned this game after Reggie Miller. And you can't knock that, though. Because how can you say another player is better than another player that came before them? Real talk. For Michael, I think he looked at Michael Thompson. I forget his name down there in NC State. So really, without Michael Jordan, without Magic and Bird, he probably wouldn't have a guy like, he wouldn't have a league without Magic and Bird. Whoever Michael looked up to, I think it was Michael Thompson. You had Pete Maravich, who, was the biggest innovator of just street hoops. Pete Maravich, some of the drills he was doing and some of the magic he had with the ball. Without Pete, it might not be no magic. It may not be no N1. You had Jerry West and Nate Tiny Archibald. You had George Garvin from the D. You got a lot of great players, man. And I think it's hard, to be honest, it's hard to say Jordan was better than Magic and Bird. And, Magic and Bird was better than Bill Russell. So many, you think Steph Curry just patterned this game after Dale. Steph Curry took something away from Ray, took something away from Reggie, just as Reggie took something away from the shooters before him. When I look at Carmelo Anthony, all I see is Bernard King. That's it. Without Bernard King, does Carmelo play the way he plays? So I get what Ray's saying. You can't say he's greater than somebody that's right there with that built the foundation, and that's fair. And today, we talking about just arguing on the other side of Steph being the greatest shooter of all time. He playing in an easier league. He ain't got to worry about getting elbowed and getting grabbed off them screens and getting... It's a foul. He is playing in a more digestible league. Nobody want to admit that. You got Gilbert Arenas saying, well, all that hacking and fouling, that makes, that makes it people. That's why people don't watch NBA no more. It has no more masculinity. It has no more testosterone. It's just a beta male sport. And that's the problem. People, when they see a sport, they want to see physicality. They want to see, people get put on the ground and, that's just me. I want to see dudes be physical. And that's what sports is about. Bumping it. And not just, foul. Steph Curry played in the easier league but then again, he revolutionized the league too. And that's what kind of made me put him as the GOAT. Reggie, a lot of people pattern the game after Reggie, Rip Hamilton, Ray Allen, etc. coming off them screens. And that's a talent. That's a huge talent. But when we looking at Steph Curry, man, everybody doing it. High school people taking 2 steps over half court and launching it. Even Damian Lillard found the way Steph just launching the ball and shoot it. Off the dribble, catch and shoot. You know what I'm saying? Steph is the all-around shooting GOAT, in my opinion. Because I think that would have worked back in the day when they played more physical and hand check. Steph would have still been able to come off screens like Ray Allen, and he'd have been able to find a way to get free. So, yeah, you don't want to disrespect the founders, Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, Rip Hamilton, all those guys that were great mid-range and three-point shooter. DeMar DeRozan come off the screen just like them too. Great mid-range shooter, man. But I get what he's saying. Reggie's the foundation. Without Reggie, it's no Steph, it's no Ray, it's no Rip, it's no etc. And I can agree with that. I can say, you know what? Without Dale, it ain't no Steph. Without Reggie, it ain't no Steph. I get it. I really do get that, man. So I'm not complaining about it. I think they all GOATs. And I agree with Ray. And Ray doing his thing, one of the greatest shooters of all time. And I really think Steph would be selfless about it. He probably said, I agree with Ray. I watched Reggie Miller. I watched my dad. I watched Herschel Hawkins. Deadlift Shrimp. Got a lot of great shooters. Mark Price really shoot the ball. John Stockton can really shoot. You have some good shooters, man. Before the 3-point line became, what it was. Pete Maravich could shoot the shit out the ball. You got some great shooters throughout NBA history. Petrovic? Man, you have some great shooters, man, that play in today. You put Reggie in today, they probably calling Reggie the GOAT. Honestly. You put Reggie in today's game, you got some great. Robert Ory, one of the clutchest shooters ever. You had who else? Steve Nash had over there shooting threes. Tim Thomas. He would have been more beneficial playing in this league. Steve Kerr. You got a lot of guys that could really shoot it. Who had the green light or the green light they had today. But then we can't play woulda, shoulda, coulda. I think Steph is the greatest shooter. I think the only thing that he lacking in is being a foundation for shooters like Reggie and basically clutch shooting. I didn't see Steph making the big shots when it mattered. That's the only reason. And then Steph can't put a team on his back and carry him. Never could. Even when Ray was in Milwaukee and when Seattle, he could. But he can't put people on his back. Reggie had a team on his back in Pacers for years, man. That Eastern Conference was just so brutal. I used to root for Reggie versus Michael all the time. You had Michael, had the Knicks. I eventually had the Heat, who was pretty good. The Knicks made the finals. People forget that they made it in the lockout year '99 after the year Michael left. They made it when the first year Michael left was going to play baseball. But some forgotten shooters was it Herschel Walker? I forget his name. Hershey Hawkins, excuse me. I think he played for Seattle. Played for a few teams. Dale Curry could shoot it. A dude from Jersey could shoot it. Petrovic. You remember you had Kerry Kittles. He can really shoot it. There's some dudes that really benefit. It would have benefited today, man. You talking about dudes that you don't think about. Not just shooters. Ross Strickland, Jerry Stackhouse. I think Iverson would have been a monster today. It's a lot of guys that Herschel Hawkins, Dale Curry, Mark Price, John Stockton. Are you talking about those guys? Those guys, John Paxton, Steve Kerr, them Robert Horry, a lot of dudes would have benefited. Tim Thomas, just born in the wrong year. They can really shoot the ball. What's the kid that played for Joe Johnson? Oh my God, Bernard King. Oh. I don't know what Utah was thinking about when they got rid of Bernard King. But Bernard and Karl Malone couldn't go together. But Bernard King. The way these motherfuckers post defend, Bernard King was shit. Bernard King would have been the scoring champion every year without shooting a three. And I think he could have made Bernard King one of the most underrated players of all. George Gervin would have been a problem. It's been so Nate, Tiny Archibald would have been a problem today. There's a lot of guys that just played in the wrong era. Talking about Steve Francis, another guy, Katino Mobley, met him at the Big Three a couple years ago. One more. I got a few more, but I'm going to say one more. DeJuan Wagner, son, number one player in the country for his class. We just want DeJuan Wagner played in this league today. Shit. Man. Would have been a problem. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter You can reach out to a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request, all my social media links description. Fast way to reach me is Twitter, then Facebook, then Instagram. All links in the description. Check out the Facebook group. That link's there as well too. Want to make a financial donation? Cash App CJ Good 313. That's the description. PayPal link in the description as well too. Best way to donate. Share the video. Check out the NBA Talk playlist. And let me know what you guys think about what Ray's saying. I get what Ray's saying. I agree with both sides. I think Steph is the greatest shooter that I've seen, but I think you can't be greater than your foundation. So this is my opinion. One time for the one time. Check out the NBA Talk playlist. Good for the Sports TV. We go.